Hey, Mike here. Today I'm going to talk about the Illuminati. So the concept of the Illuminati, as it's often depicted in conspiracy theory circles, is indeed shrouded in mystery and intrigue, with many speculating on its secretive and influential nature, often falsely intertwining it with the Freemasons. These are very different organizations, but it is granted that they are far older than most people know, and they are both very powerful. However, it is crucial to clarify that the roots of Freemasonry trace back to a very different source. I'll cover the source of the Illuminati in a moment, but for now let's look at the Freemasons. They actually go back to the noble Jewish builders of the Temple of Solomon, and they are actually specifically stated to be noble. This means they are very good. The link between Freemasonry and the Illuminati does still remain a topic of debate on conspiracy theory forums for people that lack knowledge, largely because of the alleged objectives associated with the Illuminati. To comprehend the historical context, you must delve into the ancient text, both the religious and the historical texts. In the Hebrew Bible, the construction of the Temple of Solomon involved skilled artisans and builders, many of whom could indeed be considered noble. The connection between Masonry and the builders of this illustrious temple has been a long-standing tradition. This is exemplified in Masonic rituals and symbolism. The Illuminati, on the other hand, is not of God. It is opposed to his will. I would suggest that they are behind many of the anti-Semitic and anti-Masonic conspiracy theories that run rampant in our society. The emergence of the actual Illuminati, like the real group called the Illuminati, this is a group of elite humans. This occurred in Germany during the late 18th century, and it's well documented. John Adam Weishaupt, he is a professor of canon law, officially founded the Illuminati on May 1st, 1776. Most of my American viewers will recognize that as an important year. This happened in Ingolstadt, Bavaria, which is in Germany.
We are the outsiders, the heretics, the rebels, the revolutionaries, the blasphemers, the outcasts, the infidels. We are the resistance. We are the truth seekers. We are the mathematicoi. We are the Hyperboreans. We are the Illuminati.
Granted, I believe this is just the human facade of a deeper organization that goes back much further, specifically 5,536 years before 1776. But this is when the human involvement started in 1776. This period actually coincides with the American Revolution, a time of great social upheaval and transformation on the American continent. In fact, the United States of America was officially founded only 65 days after the Illuminati was. Let me repeat that. The United States of America was founded only 65 days after the Illuminati was founded in Germany. Now, the term America itself is subject of linguistic and etymological analysis. Some of these interpretations of the word link it to ancient languages that connotate serpents or land. It intriguingly actually translates in the Inuit language to the land of the serpent. When you consider that this 65-day or roughly 9-week separation between the founding of the Illuminati and the founding of the United States of America fits perfectly within the time frame for a typical crossing of an average ship of that year, from a port in Germany to cities like Boston on the east coast of the United States of America. This would take anywhere from 6 to 12 months. Or weeks, 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the weather. It seems to be quite a coincidence, right? It's almost as if the Illuminati finds difficulty in Europe and decides to go across the ocean and overthrow British rule in the colonies and create a new nation modeled after their own ideology. Unfortunately, that seems to have included treason, theft of land, genocide of native inhabitants, racism, slavery, and followed by other forms of oppression, oppressing just everyone, or as this is also known, American history. So this year marks, 1776, also marks groundbreaking publications of Adam Smith's Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations, This is an important book in history. It actually laid the foundation for modern economics and the entire concept of free market capitalism. And also in the same year, they were wrapping up the first edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. Both of these were published in Scotland. And then, of course, the massive expansion of the Russian Empire happened the same year. So I would say 1775 through 76 was a very big year for the entire world. Furthermore, skipping back to the America thing, the etymological background of the word America, combined with the close correlation of its founding with the literal Illuminati, raises questions about hidden meanings and connections. For example, the triangular symbol with the all-seeing eye on our dollar bill. Many people believe in some kind of deep state in multiple nations, actually, and sometimes this is true. There's puppet governments all over the world. Consider how many times you've heard of the Illuminati, reptilians, or anything else. A couple good examples is the fact that Washington, D.C. is not actually part of the United States. There is a block in London which is not part of England. And there's a number of other places like this throughout the world. Now let's consider these terms, reptilian and Illuminati. Reptilian obviously means reptile-like, and many assume this is reptile-based aliens. But let's hold off on jumping to the alien conclusion for a moment and look at the word Illuminati. The term Illuminati has its etymological roots in the Latin word illuminatus, which is the past participle of illuminare, which means to illuminate or to enlighten. It's derived from the word lumen. You've probably seen it on boxes of light bulbs before. And this means light. So the term Illuminati is historically used in a variety of contexts to refer to individuals or groups who sought knowledge, enlightenment, or the spread of intellectual ideas. In fact, the name Lucifer actually has its origins in the Latin word for light bringer, or morning star. It seems that a lot of these demonic entities have favored the Latin language throughout the years. It often is associated with the planet Venus for some reason, which appears as the morning star, shining brightly before dawn. This lets you know that a new day is coming. In various religions and other mythological contexts, the name Lucifer has also been used to symbolize the concept of light, knowledge, and enlightenment. However, the name is used to describe an angel who rebelled against God and fell from grace. That's just the name in Latin. His actual name, the original name used for him was Shemyaza, and he is the leader of the Watchers, and had the original idea to take human form and get into relationships with humans. You can read the Book of Enoch if you're curious about that. The Bible briefly touches on it. Shemyaza and his cohorts did in fact give humans advanced knowledge. They taught humans a lot. Some conspiracy theorists suggest that the Illuminati represents a group of individuals who have similarly rebelled against divine authority and seek to manipulate the world and the world's events to achieve their goals at the cost of the relationship with God. So let's look at the seraphim. This is a Hebrew word. They are considered a type of angel, or melach, in Hebrew. They are often depicted as heavenly beings with a special and exalted role in the divine realm. They are typically described as having multiple wings, 6 specifically, and they are associated with praise and worship of God. In some interpretations, seraphim are believed to be among the highest order of angels. And that makes sense because this group called the Watchers, which I'm going to be talking about, was a very elite class of angels tasked with basically supervising and guiding Earth. They did do that, but not the way God intended them to. We don't know what species of angels they were, but what we do know is that, the Watchers, but we can assume they were likely the seraphim, and here's why. The name seraphim actually comes from the root word in Hebrew, which means either serpent or burning, or a burnt object, but usually burning. And it's very likely that these two words could have sprouted from people comparing various lizard creatures, the snakes, lizards, salamanders, whatever, to the reptilian-looking seraphim. And then they could have also compared burning objects to light emitted by them, whether they were burning literally or like the burning bush, or just merely emitting light like an LED. I don't know. But burning objects were compared to the seraphim. We don't know what species of angels the watchers were, as I said, but if the watchers were the seraphim, it would make a lot of sense. It would also tie into the account of Adam and Eve being fooled by a serpent into accepting knowledge at the expense of the relationship with God. Yes, there was a piece of fruit they ate that somehow unlocked their brains. There's a lot of speculation as to what this could have been. I've heard everything from pomegranates to magic mushrooms. But whatever this was, unlocked their brains and allowed them to fully understand the difference between right and wrong. Almost like at a point in a video game when you get an object which unlocks a chapter. So, building further into the origins of the term watchers for these powerful beings, the original language, they were known as the Irin. This bears a connection to the Sanskrit word Aryan, a word that was subsequently adopted by a political party in Germany to represent what they thought was a superhuman race. Consider that Germany was where the Illuminati were founded. That's why this is important. So the primary objective of the Illuminati was to reintroduce these beings to the world, endowing them with advanced weaponry and almost achieving a global domination. Notably, their targets included the remnants of Israel. And I'm sorry, I said this was the Illuminati's goals. This was actually the Nazis' goals. It was the Nazis' goals to bring back this, what they thought was a superhuman race, and then they would get powerful advanced weapons, and that's when they targeted the remnants of Israel, a historical context that carries echoes into recent events in Israel. It's constant turmoil. However, I will say that is God's chosen nation. Whoever blesses Israel will be blessed, and whoever curses Israel will be cursed. This is stated in the book of Genesis and in the book of Numbers. So the idea that the Illuminati was not a human organization, but a control structure created by fallen angels, is based on a complex web of religious texts, like the Bible and the book of Enoch, with proven historical events. It's essential to note that this perspective is not necessarily 100% proven. But then again, would powerful entities like fallen angels allow any kind of evidence to actually prove this against them to exist? No, of course not. But I can outline some evidence we do have that does show this to be the case. So in the book of Enoch, this is a Jewish religious text, and it is very good for reading. We are shown the Nephilim. They are believed to be the offspring of the fallen angels and human women. Keep in mind, these fallen angels were able to take human form, and that extended to the function of being able to reproduce with humans. So, some theorists draw parallels between these Nephilim and the supposed hidden elite within the Illuminati, suggesting a link between them. After all, the children of the Irin, the Nephilim, were technically superior to humans in many ways. They absolutely were more intelligent than us. They were stronger than us. They created various technologies such as metallurgy, agriculture, all kinds of stuff. However, they did not value human life at all, and they were cannibalistic and literally bloodthirsty, had hardly any morals, and they hated God. This is due to them not being God's children, not eligible for salvation or forgiveness. There was actually a point where the Irin begged God for forgiveness for their children's sake, and they were denied. They were actually then killed in a global flood, which Noah and his family were saved through. So it's no secret the Illuminati has been behind significant historical events, such as wars, even world wars, and revolutions, like the American Revolution. And they did all this to further their own agenda of control. This aligns with the fallen angels' influence in human affairs leading up to the war against God, and they will fail. They want to take the world back to how it was, as the Bible states, in the days of Noah. However, this will not succeed, just as in the days of Noah, which is recorded in the Bible. Two will be standing in a field, one will be taken away to their destruction, and the other left alive on earth. Just as the famous verse in Matthew says. Unfortunately, that verse is also sometimes twisted and edited by people who are ensnared by rapture theology to make it mean the opposite of what it actually means. That being taken away is not being saved from anything, it's being destroyed for being sinful. So the Illuminati have maintained their influence over the centuries with a hidden agenda to bring about a new world order, a one world order. And this they equate with a malevolent, otherworldly plan. So this is foretold in Scripture. There will be a satanic one world government which will oppress people who wish to follow God's law. Consider how bad it would have been in World War II had gone differently. In fact, there's even a fictional novel about this called The Man in the High Castle. This is kind of what we see happening in biblical prophecies toward the end times before the millennial kingdom of Christ. And this kind of goes back to the whole mark of the beast thing. A mark on the forehead and right hand is reference to a figure of speech used by the Hebrews. So to take a mark on your forehead means you've been fooled by something, but you can't see it. As ridiculous as it is, you simply can't see it because it's hidden from you, like a mark that's put on your forehead. To take a mark on your right hand indicates you don't really believe it, but you're going along with something just to be a part of that system, usually to survive in it. The best example that I can give, and no offense to my Muslim friends, but consider in states under the more oppressive versions of Sharia law, there are likely non-Muslims living there who avoid being murdered or ostracized from society by acting the part. And no, I don't believe that as long as the one world system mentioned in the Bible, it's far more likely to be some new age system or some kind of upcoming UFO cult. This would basically involve government passing fallen angels off as aliens to fool people into believing that we've made contact with some other world. I do believe that God probably created other life on the universe, but I do not believe it has had the time to get here yet. And I don't believe it ever will. So, to those who know of the work of Aleister Crowley and have seen a depiction of his favorite demon, which he mentioned, named Lamb, which appeared to him in bodily form on a number of occasions, you'll know how easily the concept of ufology and fallen angels and demons can be conflated. So now, this video could have been a lot longer, and I've cut out a lot. Basically, it could have been an entire book. If you've enjoyed this and want more, let me know, and maybe I'll turn this into an entire series. Maybe just one much longer video. So just let me know in the comments, and if you hate it and don't want to see anything like this again, let me know that too. But either way, don't forget to like and subscribe for more great content. Thank you, and have a blessed day.